What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys with some videos for the Mystic Forces set that will be coming out soon. So they did give us a release date for Mystic Forces, and it will come out for the TCG in let's say July, in November, mid-November to be precise, and then the OCG gets it sometime this month. And there's a lot of reprints in it. There's a lot of here and there cards for it. I think around my birthday is actually when they'll get this OCG. And there is a lot of talk about the next set of waifus from this. So similar to how we got the witchcraft monsters, Konami is just stretching that whole waifu aspect, and it got a little more kinky because they're adding that whole dragon thing to it. So if you like to get your rocks off to some dragon maids, well, they gave you some dragon maids. This is somebody's fetish. Like, I'm not kink shaming, but this is a children's game, and you're giving. No, please, let's face it. There ain't no kids playing this game as that much. Like, except for the ones playing Dragon Duels, and they're about like preteens. And hopefully, Lord God forbid, they don't get into the waifu aspects of anime, and they probably are. Poor boys. Alright, so I'm gonna stop stretching the envelope of the situation any further. Let's talk about the Dragon Maids. So this is one of the 3 archetypes that will be featured in the Mystic Forces set. This corresponds around being a dragon type monster, and the gimmick of these monsters is that they like to send each other to the graveyard to special summon each other from the graveyard, and then while they're on the field, they'll return themselves to the hand at the end of the battle phase to special summon lower level versions of themselves. It's kind of like a combination of if I was a Cosmo monster, but instead of being psychic and machine, I'm just going to be full out dragon and then have a ton of dragon support to follow behind me. And yeah, they are going to they've stretched the waifu aspect. So it has been a minute since I've actually looked at the set, and I know both a monster based off the Nordics has been announced, because I'll be looking into them. And then the first set of monsters I did, the little number setup, those guys got changed as well. So I'll have to go back and redo videos for each of them. But don't worry, I'll have links and everything to each series of monsters, and then I'll also be looking at the reprints as well. So I know that's a lot to process in the first beginning, so let's just get to the monsters. Starting off, we have Dragon Maid Nessary. She's level 2 Earth attribute dragon type monster, 500 attack, 1600 defense, and her effects reads, you can only use each of her effects once per turn, and this is a standard lineup for each card, so just replace one specific number for the other. When this card is normal summoned, or normal or special summon, interactive effect, target one level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster in your graveyard and special summon it to the field. Her other effect is that at the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to hand to summon one level 7 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. Here's her corresponding monster. This is Dragon Maid Erda, level 7 Earth Dragon attribute dragon type monster, 2600 attack, 1600 defense, and you can only use the first and third effect of this card once per turn. The simultaneous effect of all of the dragon monsters of the Dragon Maids that are the level 7 or higher is that they are unaffected by card effects while you control a dragon type fusion monster. Their traditional effects is that you can discard this card from your hand, so someone level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your hand. His other effect is at the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, so summon one level 2 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your hand. This is similar effect to a lot of the other dragons, where they'll have at the end of the battle phase, return this card to your hand, and so summon one monster of this particular level that's a Dragon Maid from your hand to the field. Next up is Dragon Maid Laundry, not lying, that's literally her name. Level 2 Dragon Water type monster, 500 attack, 1600 defense. Just like her predecessor, she has the whole you can swap out at the start of the battle phase for a level 7 or higher Dragon type monster. And her effect when she's normal social summon is you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So it helps with their gimmick of having those monsters in the graveyard and then special summoning the bigger ones to the field. Her corresponding dragon monster is Dragon Maid Fluss, level 7 water dragon attribute monster, 2600 attack, 1600 defense. And his effects reads, when you can discard this card to your hand to return To target one monster in the graveyard and return it to the deck. Then his third effect is at the end of the damage step, you can just summon a level 2 Dragon Maid monster by returning this card to your hand. So that's them. We have the Fire Dragon Maid. This is Dragon Maid Tilro. Level 3 Fire Attribute Dragon type monster. 500 attack, 1700 defense. Her effect reads when she's normal summoned, you can target one Dragon Maid monster from your deck, except for a copy of Dragon Maid Tilro, and add it to your hand. Then send one Dragon Maid monster from your hand to the graveyard. And then she slots herself out at the start of the battle phase for a level 8 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. Then her corresponding dragon is Dragon Maid Flame. Level 8 Fire Dragon Attribute monster. Fire Attribute Dragon type monster. 2700 attack, 1700 defense. And its effects read, you can discard this card from your hand to target one Dragon Maid monster you control, and it gains 2000 attack until the end of the turn. Its third effect is at the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do so, summon a level 3 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. Next up is the Wind Dragon Maid. This is Dragon Maid Parla. Dragon Maid Parla is level 3, Wind Attribute, 500 attack, 1700 defense. When this card is no more social summon, you can send one Dragon Maid card from your deck to the graveyard, except for a copy of herself. And then at the start of the battle phase, she can switch herself out for a level 8 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. Then we have Dragon Maid Luft. 2800 level 8 Wind Dragon type monster, 2700 attack, 1700 defense. And its effects read, you can discard this card from your hand, target one face-up monster on the field, and for the rest of the turn, that target cannot activate its effects that activate on the field. So it's an effect veiler. Not too bad. Then similar to the last one, Flammy. What is that big dragon's name? Flammy. Lift has the ability to return itself to the hand to summon a level 3 Dragon Maid monster from your hand. Then we have their fusion monster. This is Dragon Maid Houski. I'm trying to pronounce her name. I think it's Houski. Just going as far as I can with the name. She's a level 8 light attribute dragon type monster. 3000 attacks, 2000 defense. I hear boss monster. One Dragon Maid monster plus one dragon type monster. Oh yeah, this is the boss monster. Once a turn during your standby phase, you can target one other Dragon Maid monster you control. So summon in defense position one Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard whose level is one higher than or one less than that monster. When another face-up dragon monster you control is returned to the hand, target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that monster. Oh yeah, boss monster. Next up is the spells and traps that correspond with this archetype. So we have Dragon Maid Hospitality, normal spell. You can activate a card with this name's effect. You can only activate a card with this name once per turn. So one Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can send to your graveyard one Dragon Maid monster from your deck with the same attribute but a different level. Oh, they have a Foolish Burial and a Monster Reborn. No wonder half of the dragon stuff had to get hit before this stuff came out. Both TCG and OCG. We have their continuous spell. This is Dragon Maid Reception. Reception. Continuous spell card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name only once per turn. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragon Maid monster you control. If you control 2 or more Dragon Maid monsters, you can target one Dragon Maid card in your graveyard, except Dragon Maid Reception, and add it to your hand. Oh, that is really good. Then the last effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard for the rest of the turn, all Dragon Maid monsters you control will become unable to be targeted by your opponent's card effects. So it's a defensive card as well. That's a really good card. Then we have Dragon Maid Changing normal spell. You only use the second effect of this card's effect once per turn. The first effect is fusion summon one dragon type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. So it's a polymerization. Then the second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dragon Maid monster you control and add this card to your hand. And if you do, return that Dragon Maid to your hand. Turn that card to your hand. So it has recyclability. I mean, it can be recycled. Not bad at all. Next, we have their trial card. This is Dragon Maid Relaxation. Target, we only use the first of continuous trap card. You only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Target one dragon type monster. Target one dragon maid monster you control. Then activate the effects. Return that targeted monster to your hand, and if you do, add one Dragon Maid card from your deck to your hand, except for Dragon Maid Relaxation. Return target monster to your hand, and if you do, return one spell trap card your opponent controls to their hand. So there's a lot of interaction, of course, between the big and the small dragons. Like this reminds me of Cosmo. It really does. A lot of interaction. Just a dragon-based Cosmo, and because it's all waifu'd out, a lot of people are going to really go for this. I see a lot of potential in this archetype, not because of the waifu kinky aspect of it, but I think just in the overall sense, this is why a lot of dragon cards tend to get hit there and there, because there will be a dragon deck that can easily abuse it. Honestly, this is a very abusable dragon deck. I would not be surprised to see variations of it online already. A lot of high hopes for it. I could potentially build it in the future. It looks like a decent enough archetype, and I like a lot of the setup for it, so maybe I give it a chance. But let me know what you guys think about the Dragon Maids and their possibility of what do you think about them overall? And do you guys want to see them on the channel? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. HTJ, signing out. Take care.